Good evening, everybody, and welcome to WCFL DolFans Talk. Welcome to our talk show, and there's going to be a lot to talk about, a lot of things going on. I hope everyone's ready for a good time. It is what it is, as this past Sunday went. But for now, let me go ahead and bring up our co-hosts, Mr. Winters and Mr. John O'Hanlon.
What's up, everybody? How are you? Happy Wednesday.
Yes, happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you for joining WCFL Dolphins Talk. And yeah, you know what, Paul, you said it perfectly. We do have a lot to talk about, man.
Real quick, I want to shout out to Jack Siegel, the first one in the room watching us.
What's up, Jack?
Thank you, Jack. What's up, brother? Definitely, man.
First things first, we need to give a shout out of prayers to the family that lost somebody from another incident of bullshit. I don't know the whole story. I just know arguments between fans at the Walmart parking lot there in Miami, and someone got shot. So, I mean, it's just plain out bullshit. Our prayers go out to the families. Dolphin Winters said it best. If you can't just shoot the shit with everybody and go along with it, keep your mouth shut. There's no reason if you feel you have to start pulling out knives, guns, fists, whatever. Just keep your mouth shut. Walk away. There is no sense in that bullshit.
Absolutely, man.
Totally agree, but unfortunately, some fans don't know when to stop, where to stop, whether it be drinking, talking,
Yeah, I agree. Charles Kirby, hey, brother.
What's up, Charles Kirby? Great to see Charles this weekend, man. It's great to see Jack also this weekend as well.
Charles did keep his word of promise. He made a bet along with me that he would shave his beard off if we lost, and he shaved his beard off. I got a picture of it.
Wow, he shaved the beard.
Yep, he sure did.
All right, if we win the Super Bowl, I'll shave mine.
Well, look, I'll just shave my head off if we win or lose. It don't matter. Look, you know what I mean? So, but let's get into it, gentlemen. Paul, where you want to start off at, man? Because I know we got a lot to talk about.
Well, start with the breaking news, Paul.
Well, the breaking news is that as of right now, Saturday night's event, Miami versus Kansas City, has been canceled. Unfortunately, the event organizer had to cancel your event. And all it says is Miami Dolphins versus, it actually says versus to be determined AFC wildcard, Monday, January 15th.
Well,
we know it's Kansas City. So basically what they're saying is they moved the game from Saturday to Monday because of weather. I know Missouri got a lot of snow yesterday. My daughter lives in Missouri. They got like 10 inches. They're expecting another storm Thursday into Friday. That and the extreme cold on Saturday. So the NFL has moved the game to Monday to be determined.
Well, I'm gonna give it a good run because you got Philly versus Tampa Bay at 8:15 on Monday night. So I wouldn't be surprised it would be a 5 o'clock or a 4 something game. Don't be surprised.
Mr. Polk, thank you for joining us out there. I will be putting the link out in a little bit for anybody to join us. It's only right because if they actually held that game, they would be liable for so many suits of people freezing to death, losing fingers, hands, whatever, some drunk idiot being out there shirtless, stuff like that.
Not only that, you got to remember all the staff that's on a team that's got to be out there. Yeah. Not only the players and the coaches, the staff that work in the facility, parking. How are you going to have somebody standing in a parking lot when it's minus 10 degrees?
I agree with you. Everybody. you're going to have people that would not show up point blank. I don't care.
Yeah, don't give it.
-15 degree weather.
Right.
Not outside. No. Yeah.
And you know, there's not an NFL team in the world supplying these guys with extra gloves, hats, jackets, warmers to throw inside their gloves, their boots, their jacket. They're not supplying them with a damn thing. They're going to be like, dress warm. It's going to be cold.
Absolutely. And I mean, even to the people that are still traveling to the game and it's going to be at the game on Monday, still dress accordingly. It's still going to be definitely cold. You can die from the elements. Do not play. You know, I mean, even though that Paul lives in Florida, he's lived in areas where it was cold. Yourself, John, you know, me and you are East Coast cats. So we understand the severity and how cold it does get up here on the East Coast, far East Coast up north. And it's no joke. Like, you know, not to get off the subject, but next week, starting Monday, is actually going to be winter up here. Like, we got 55 today. We getting 55 and rain on Friday, and then a little bit on Saturday, and then the temperatures plummet on Sunday and Monday, and then Tuesday is like 27 and 29, and it's real.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. No, I agree with you. I've spent my time up north, and I've spent my time in the mountains and stuff. It's not something to play with.
No.
And that's what I said from the beginning, from when I seen, you know, they're talking -6 with a feel like of -24. I'm like, they can't play in that shit.
No, bro. Even though
for anybody that's already made plans and booked flights, get on and change them now because the game ain't gonna be till Monday.
Yeah.
So on top of that, you know, news, I want to voice my opinion on all these so-called Dolphin fans.
Yeah, let's give it to them because before you go
know
on,
what we're talking. Yeah,
before you go,
talking about John as well, and
absolutely,
bro.
I mean,
I just want
these so-called fans. Go ahead, Winters. I know you wanted to say something before I go off. Go ahead.
Before you say what you gotta say. John travels every weekend to a home game from New Jersey. I traveled to New England. I live in Philly. I went to fan club weekend, and I was there this weekend with the Buffalo Bills fans. And we allowed the Buffalo Bills fans to take over our home. And I do not understand that. I'm going to let Paul say his piece in a second, but I'm going to be honest with you. I enjoyed seeing my Fins family, and I loved seeing my Fins family over the weekend, and that was a highlight. But to go in that home that we call home, and to see all that blue and red in our home, that was disgusting. Period. 100%. It should never be. Go ahead, Paul.
No, 100%. These people that sold their tickets, let's see. Well, I need money for playoffs. Well, you don't need the money for the playoffs now. Well, I need money for the playoffs. Well, you just gave our game away. You know, yeah, you got money in your pocket, but you blew the home field advantage big time because as I told my friend who is a Buffalo Bills fan, he didn't even watch the game because he was sick of the Bills the way they were playing this year. But he even said that he was totally shocked at it. I said, because there was a 50, if not 60% Buffalo Bill fans in that stadium.
Oh my God. The first drive when we got the ball, the first damn time, the fans, I'm just looking and just disgust. Because I'm sitting there saying to myself, there is a sea of blue and red in our stadium. And they are just sounding my friend, Russell Hotman, the gentleman that was on this show a few months ago, texted me when Tua was about to snap the ball and said, it is disgusting and pathetic how our home game sounds like a Bills home game.
And especially when you have at the end of the game, a Bills player saying Miami is their city, they should be ashamed of themselves. The so-called Dolphin fans that sold all these tickets, because I don't know. I'm just appalled at I mean, I sat there. My wife and I was in early, and I watched as the stadium filled up, and I'm looking, and I just kept saying more blue and red, more blue and red, more blue and red. No white, hardly any white, very little aqua, and I mean, even right down from me, where I haven't seen an opponent from another team sitting near me, there was four different seats taken up by Buffalo Bills fans.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was in.
I can say in my section, it was mostly Dolphins fans. We only had a couple of Buffalo fans. The two Buffalo fans that were closest to me were actually with the season ticket holders that hold the seats. They were friends or family, and they were at the game. Where I was sitting was not a lot of Buffalo fans.
I could see that down there on you because I sit right above you.
Yeah,
but I
the
tell you
away side, when you looked over there, was almost all red and blue. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, the Dolphins let these investors buy these tickets and then keep reselling them to make money. Listen, I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's very simple. With the cameras we have nowadays, take pictures of every seat of every game, and if you see a different face in that seat every game, revoke their season tickets. They're not buying them to be at the game. They're buying them to make money.
Well, I know John Superfin said that a guy he knows that would sell his tickets every year for the past 3 years. He hasn't been to a home game in 3 years. Got his season tickets revoked for this.
Good. They should do more and more of that. Listen, we got cameras that can zoom in and see a gnat on a fly's ass. Why can't they take pictures of throughout the stadium and then zoom in on a seat? Row 101, seat 1. It's a different face every game. It's not a season ticket holder. Revoke them. Go to the next seat, the next seat. Yes, it would take a little time, but goddamn, you got the cameras, you got the technology. Do it. When you constantly,
I agree with you 100% on that, John. It's bullshit.
But it's up to the Dolphins to do it, because as long as they let these people keep buying tickets to resell them to make money, nothing's going to happen. It's up to the organization.
Here's something I'm going to throw out to everybody listening, and we can do it ourselves. Write an email. It's teammember@hardrock.com. It does help, because I wrote an email about the elevator situation, which you guys heard about last week with me. They actually did something about it. They have signs on the outside of the elevators now stating for disabled use only. And also, we had no problem getting an elevator. Plus, we got a reply back just the other day, yesterday or day before. We got a reply back from it about it, and they thanked us and everything. And
put that email up.
It's team member.
Put that up on the link and everything when you have time. Put that up on the link. Put it up on the page. Put it up so that somebody hears it but doesn't remember it. They can go back and look at it, and they can send an email.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, this is an organizational problem. This is not a fan problem.
Right.
If the organization doesn't do anything about it to protect home field, you're going to have people that are going to buy tickets just to resell to make money.
Well, I just put the email in the comments for now, and I will.
There you go.
I'll make a post later in the group page.
Right.
But I mean, it was. If you could have seen the third level all around me, it was 75% blew up there.
Oh,
it
wow.
was crazy. And in the bar right behind me, Winners, there was probably 50% people of Buffalo and sitting in the bar.
On the 300 level, Paul, I was sitting at 307, and the 300 level, it was nothing.
Yeah, you were total opposite corner of us.
Yeah, it was nothing but Bill. It was like literally a crap load of Bills fans, a sprinkle of Dolphin fans, and it was, dude. Oh my gosh, it just blew my mind. If somebody could have took a picture of my face, it said it all. Listen, was I inebriated? Yes. Did I party a lot? Yes. But that goes by the wayside when it comes to the game. And I was livid. I was livid when it was 0-0 by seeing all those other fans in our home. Period. That was
Oh yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah,
And
I got
then,
very lucky.
oh my God. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. And I'm going to say this as God is my witness. I had to leave at 2:10 and I put it on my phone and I watched the NFL Plus on the way out because I did not want to see Buffalo fans celebrating in the Hard Rock. I just couldn't do it because
Oh no,
I
yeah.
probably would. I just couldn't. I couldn't.
As soon as Tua threw that interception, we left.
I heard I heard when Tua threw the interception, I seen it on my phone and the crowd went crazy. I walked right back to East 12. I just walked to the car.
I got the wife. I wheeled her on out, and yeah, and then we were down in the road when we heard of course, the eruption of the end of the game.
Yeah.
And, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I got something going off on my phone all of a sudden.
I see.
There was a high-speed chase going on.
I see. Okay, Paul, what are you getting into, man? What the hell?
I haven't had anything to drink or smoke tonight.
Dude, I don't think I'm
I've been running. Real quick, I pulled up. I've got a picture of Chuck without his beard now.
All right, throw it up. Wow.
Yo, Santa Claus went through his summer outfit.
Absolutely.
And that Chuck in the beginning is one I've just bought, Winners, and
nice.
I'm going to be working on modifying that. It's going to take me some time, but it's a good running truck, and I got it for a steal.
Nice.
So,
what the heck I wanted to say before we put the link up? I know we're going to talk about everything that we've seen, and we got a lot to talk about. So if you want to throw the link up, we can throw the link up right now so we can invite some people on if people want to pop on. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like button if you're watching. We definitely appreciate the support. Thank you.
Especially if you're on YouTube. Yeah, it's like, subscribe. It looks like, let me see who's on Facebook again. Miss Mona joined us. Hi, Miss Mona. And as she said, it was so blue and red, it looked purple. Well, Miss Mona, that's because your eyes were crossed with all the drinks you had too.
Them Jello shots. Oh my gosh!
But I went ahead and threw the link up. We might have a special guest. Don't know for sure. We'll see. But yeah, this game, I blame the coaches. I blame Tua. Tua is not. He is. I support him. He's my quarterback, but he's not an elite quarterback. If you can't see what's open and what's not, if you can't throw the ball to a player, you have to throw it to a spot. You either got to change your ways or not. I don't care about records. The records don't mean shit when you don't win us games.
Facts.
And when you're throwing two spots, it's getting to the point where your defenders are reading it all. And they're watching you because you're looking straight at the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're an accurate thrower, like they say, you should be able to throw it to the guy, not to a spot. And especially with someone like Claypool on that last interception, he is not as fast as the other players.
He also didn't cut the route off when he was supposed to.
Not at all.
Well, and that there, though, Tua should have seen that and not thrown it.
Well, I agree. I agree with you partially, but the other part I don't, because Tua can only go out there and do what he's being coached to do.
And I understand that. That's where another thing, I'm blaming the coaches on a lot of the play calls. This freaking running east and west instead of north and south has got to stop because it's getting us nowhere.
Well, how about just try running the ball in the second half? God damn it. We ran 100 and some yards in the first half and then only ran the ball like 3 times in the second half.
Exactly.
Paul, he's saying the link is not working.
But as far as
that
goes,
was a YouTube watch link. I'm sorry. I went over. I'll get it.
It's all good.
As far as Tua goes, Tua can only do what Tua can do. He's coached to throw to a spot, not to a receiver. He's coached on timing. Drop 1-2, bang, let the ball go, put it where it's supposed to be.
I understand that, but he's also supposed to be our quarterback of the future. Well, this is his 4th year. He should be able to read things and see things and be allowed to change things.
But listen, and I understand that argument, but I will never agree with it because if you remember Jimmy Johnson coming into the Dolphins, Dan Marino had been in the NFL for 13 years, and Jimmy Johnson walked in the door and said, "You are no longer allowed to audible. You will run the play that I call." That was a 13-year veteran, and he did not allow him to audible anymore. That was a coaching decision. Mike McDaniel makes the rules. Tua follows the rules. Anybody that's old enough to remember Marino's career, when Jimmy Johnson walked in that door, he told him, "You don't audible anymore. What I tell you to run is what you're going to run, or you're not going to play." Go back and look at the tape. His last year.
I understand that. I
okay,
understand
that goes to coaching, not players. Everybody wants to blame Tua. He led the league in passing yards. First time since Marino that we've had a quarterback that led the league in passing yards. You want to blame somebody? Blame the coach that is coaching the player that is doing what he is taught to do.
Blame the coaches.
Blame on that. Yes.
Blame the coaches also. But I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said, John. I want to piggyback off what you said. You said this earlier in the podcast. You said it. You said it perfectly. You said in the beginning of the season, the defense looked depleted and the offense looked phenomenal. And then all of a sudden, it switched and wound up now. The defense did exactly what they needed to do by stopping the Buffalo Bills to 14 offensive points. 14 offensive points. And then special teams gave up a touchdown. So the defense did what they were supposed to do. And if I'm correct, the defense gave the Dolphins 4 opportunities to put points on the board, and they did not do it. So that is a McDaniel problem.
And they're running the plays that McDaniel is calling.
Well, now this is where I seen some descriptions today or some comments, whatever, that McDaniel is not calling all the plays. He has an offensive coordinator that's calling the plays. And he's
But McDaniel's the one holding the sheet, calling the play to Tua. If the guy upstairs is telling McDaniel, run this play, McDaniel can change it. They could they've had.
I understand that, but until we hear it from the horse's mouth, really don't know who's calling what. You know,
either between the offensive coordinator, and McDaniel.
Yes,
that's who's calling the plays.
I understand that.
And if you're not allowing Tua to audible and change it,
and that's part of right there, John. That's part of it right there.
Welcome, Mr. Polk. Welcome,
Mr.
Polk. How's it going, Papa Paul, Dolphin Winners, and John? Listen, I was watching some of the other games, and I'm gonna bring it to the Cowboys with Dak Prescott. I watched Dak Prescott come up, break the huddle, when he's in the shotgun position. He's looking at the defense, and then he would audible and come and change the play from what the coach is sitting in. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, and I'm not no Tua hater, and I'm not a Tua lover. Tua needs to be able to look at the defense, understand if they have an idea of what they're going to do, and if need be, change the play. Because
right. How would you like to be Tua walking up to the line with a run play called to the left side, and you see the left side stacked, and you're not allowed to change it?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
That's crazy. And then everybody wants to blame Tua. It's not Tua. Is he an elite quarterback? Maybe not. But I'll tell you what, there's 18 teams that aren't in the playoffs that would love to have him as their quarterback.
Well, I'll say this now. This is where we're going to agree to disagree, John. So there was a play where Tua put the ball where Barrios could have gotten a third down, but it's where he placed the ball. So that was a Tua problem. There was some passes that he made and some things that he definitely still needs to work on, which is a problem. And he's getting his receivers killed.
Yeah, but Tyreek Hill dropped 4 passes. Tyreek Hill dropped 4 passes in the game.
That dude. We even start that. We even get. I listen, ladies and gentlemen, whoever is watching right now, I want y'all to all understand this. I can probably speak for every single body on here. We love the Miami Dolphins. We love our team. We are not going nowhere. But what the fuck, we're allowed to vent, and that's exactly what we're doing from this point on. If you do not want to watch this from this point on, and you feel like you're going to get upset, we have no problems, and we understand. But we're going to be raw and uncut from this point forward. So, John, if you want to start, go ahead, man.
Tyreek dropped 4 passes. Tyreek Hill. I mean, the guy, he's a phenomenal player. Big game, he drops 4 passes, and everybody wants to bash Tua.
I agree. I was extremely pissed about that because I even said something to Winners and my wife, in the past couple of days. I said, why the hell is he dropping these fucking balls that are right in his hands?
Right.
I want to sit there and shout out Miami Fans Talk Show. You're sitting there saying, are we really crying about drop passes when the man had 1,700 yards and 150 targets? So I'll answer that for you. I'll answer that for you, Miami Fan Talk Show. The hell we are. Because at the end of the day, when I was in Philadelphia, when John was standing next to me and Tyreek Hill dropped a sure enough touchdown pass from Tua. When I was sitting there in New England, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Belichick had a great game plan for him, and Tyreek had 1 touchdown pass, and the defense for New England played extremely well, but we still pulled that game out. And I was also there against the Carolina game, which I'm sorry to say, no disrespect to Carolina, but that was kind of a win right before the game even started. And then I was just here last week watching them go against the Bills for the very first time with my 4 eyes, so I was able to watch the game. You are who you are. Records don't win you Super Bowls. Catches do. So at the end of the day, yeah, he got 1,700. He got 150 targets. I'm not discrediting one of the best wide receivers, but when you drop in passes, especially in the Baltimore game, where I don't care what anybody says, that right there changed the whole dynamic of the game. Right there, when
you're dropping passes on such an important game that's going to make or break your season,
you're dropping passes that are keeping drives alive.
Well, to me, the biggest thing is this, and I can be wrong for saying it, but I'm sticking by it. As far as the team as a whole, the defense most of this season has been playing well, and they've been keeping us in critical games. They did an excellent job to me. They did a very good job with the Buffalo Bills. We shot ourselves in the foot. We caused ourselves to lose this Buffalo game. And
Absolutely.
some of it is because we got. I'm not going to put all the blame on the offensive line either because they've been playing well and they've been playing well injured. But the rest of the offense, including Tua, including some of the wide receivers, tight ends, and Coach McDaniels, they got to get on the ball. They got to get on the ball because the defense cannot hold you out throughout the whole year, especially now at this time of the year.
What's up, Big Philly? What's going on, Big Philly?
Hey, buddy. No, I just wanted to come on real quick because I got to hop back off because I'm at like 4%. And I'm not trying to die about my wife today because I've been on 2 days of podcasting. But what I would say is this, bro. And what I'll say is this. I understand where y'all coming from with Tyreek dropping passes. I get it in some crucial moments. I would say out of those 4, the unexcusable one would be the touchdown pass. But you guys got to stop looking at it like as a whole of just why Tyreek dropped those passes in critical moments. Why are they only looking at Tyreek? That should be the question.
I've
It's
been
a
saying that all year.
McDaniels thing. That's a McDaniels thing. That's why
that's my
we talked
issue.
about that. We talked about
Yeah,
that.
we talked about that quite a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but
So
I've been saying that all year.
right, but
Yeah.
like
that's
so have I.
that's
I've been
why.
saying that shit all year too.
But
But
did you hear what I just said though?
I want to see a
Okay.
stat line at the end of a game where Tua
I
threw to
didn't hear you.
9
I didn't
different
hear you.
receivers.
Okay, no, what I was saying is that it's not just Tua, and it's not just Tua. I'm gonna start with Coach McDaniels, Tua, some of the wide receivers, some of the tight ends. But, we got the offense got to get clicking because that we can sit here and make excuses and point the finger at just one or two people on offense, but the offense is not complement the defense. Period.
No, the defense has held up their end of the bargain.
Exactly.
And even with the injuries they had, they've held up their end of the bargain.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. And now,
How many games are you going to win? How many games are you going to win scoring 14 points?
That listen again. Hold on. And again, right? I agree 100%. It's a McDaniel scheme issue. It's not. I think it's just his play design and how he wants to play the play run. Right? When you're getting rid of the ball 1.8, 2 seconds, or 1.8 seconds. All right. You're very limited on what reads you can read. You get one read off, maybe two reads. So that's his scheme, right?
Right.
Who does he look for first? Tyreek. You already know going into every play that you got a 50% chance that play is going to Tyreek. And if you take away Tyreek on that first read, you're going to get a cover sack, or it's going to be way too late and he's just going to throw it away, or he's going to force the throw, which he did twice and got 2 picks from. One was with him, one was with Claypool, but don't be mistaken, it was the same fucking route. Excuse my language, I don't know if you guys can curse on here. I curse on my show, I'm sorry.
No, you good,
But
bro. Go ahead.
it's the same route. So it was the same play. The issue with McDaniels too is that he'll come into a game with 30, 40 plays scripted, or the plays that he's gonna call, and he don't deviate from those 40s. You saw
real
that.
quick, I gotta cut you off right now. I have a special guest coming on, which he's only here for a short time. It's not a question and answer game. He's here to give us his thoughts and opinions on Sunday's game. And here is OJ McDuffie. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Oh, what's going on, OJ?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I don't know how much you have heard about us, and from what I've heard, you were just as sick as we were about the opposing fan takeover.
Yeah.
There was a lot of them, dude. A lot of them.
Well, you know what? I was sick about a lot of things, man. Yeah, let's keep it 100, man. I was just listening to what you guys are talking about, and some of the conversation is kind of it's mind-boggling to me. You guys are, I know, the truest of DolFans. I have a question before we even talk about the takeover.
Okay,
where would this team be without Tyreek Hill right now?
That's true.
100%.
That's talking about his drops.
Yeah,
We're talking about his big drops
no,
and everything. Where would this team be without Tyreek Hill right now?
Nowhere.
We wouldn't be where
You
we're
guys
at
are
now.
killing my man right now. I get it. He's had some big drops and big games and big moments. But fuck, man. This dude right here, man.
I know he's been rocking it and stuff, but at the same time, I think they need to give some of the other players a little bit more chance.
That's a different story, and
But
I
that's
agree
a
with
different
that.
but that's nothing to do with Tyreek, and that's
totally
what I was
agree
trying to
with that.
with Tyreek, we would not be here without him. I
Not
agree
even
with
close.
you.
Not even close, And I'm gonna tell you this: what it boils down to is I was looking at when I was doing the post game for the last game, it was Tyreek had 13 targets, everybody else had 3 or less. It boils down to whether Tua was gonna fucking throw the ball to somebody else, or Mike McDaniel's gonna call play for somebody else. I know Waddle's been out, but at the same time, no man, Tua's got to. These teams are going to play this cover 2 shell all day, every day, where the linebackers are 10 to 12 yards deep, where they're right in Tyreek's area. Drop it off, and let's get 5 to 8, 5 to 8, 5 to 8, 5 to 8. And but by the time you find out we're in the end zone. That's the bottom line, man. And I agree.
I love Tyreek. Don't get me wrong. I love Tyreek.
We all do, man. But he's had some big time drops. He has.
Mhm.
He has some big time drops. Even the one, I mean, this last game. I mean, shit, man.
I thought the
was
only
tough for everybody.
inexcusable was the touchdown pass. That was my opinion because most of the other ones were contested. So
Well,
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on
I'm
the
gonna tell you
contested.
what, the one over the middle, Tua should have never thrown that one over the middle.
Nope.
He's got 5 dudes
He
around
had-
him. He threw it high. I'm just saying, you don't do that. You don't
Thank
do that to
you.
your receiver.
He had
Thank
Cedric
you.
underneath,
Well,
though. He had Cedric right there for the first down, and that was what I was upset about.
Exactly.
And I understand that. I agree with you on that, OJ. My biggest thing is, especially with as much as these last few games as Tyreek has been hurt, don't put him in a position to get hurt even worse.
What I think they need to do, and you know what? Let me preface this by saying that Tua and Mike McDaniel are way smarter when it comes to football and right now what they're doing than I am. But Tua is the one that has to. He has to stop forcing the rock into bad situations. He has
100%.
to. Tua would have his numbers would be incredible if he just dump it down to the tight end, dump it down to the backs, and then you force those linebackers up a little bit, and then you can find those windows behind them. And it's been weeks now. We've been doing the same thing.
Exactly.
I said that exact thing yesterday.
That's
on my
what I'm
show.
saying.
He's been
And
so
we got to spread
Tyreek
the ball.
dependent.
You got to spread the ball out.
Tyreek dependent, and especially what hurts us too with Jalen being out. You notice some games where they get Jalen going early because Jalen needs to be involved, but then they forget about him later.
Yeah,
they got to figure out how to get Jalen when he's back involved early and continuously throughout the game because every single team is going to take Tyreek Hill out. You think Kansas City's not going to try to take Tyreek out?
Thank you.
They're not going to let him eat. They're not going to let him eat against them. I promise you
Absolutely. You're right.
They did it the first game.
I mean, I think like John said it earlier, biggest question is why did they stop the run the second half? They didn't run it.
Yeah. Well,
the run was working.
From the post game.
Yeah, but they had limited possessions, and then the flow of the game changed after that punt return, so they couldn't really result back to the run because they were trying to play either keep ahead after that punt return.
Okay, let OJ because I know OJ's got a limited amount of time to talk.
Let me say this: the defense did a great job of a stop right before the half, right?
Yes.
And they come out and they get a stop when when Buffalo had the ball. That right there was the green light for the offense to get back to what they were doing. They weren't playing from behind. They're still up 14-7. They should have gotten back on track to what they were doing. Mike McDaniel said that they went into a single high safety at that point to stop the run. So he's forcing the pass. No, it shouldn't have. He should have stuck with the run right there. Make them stop the run. And we bailed them out last week, in my opinion. We bailed them out by continuously. We had 4 plays in the third quarter. We had 4 plays in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's not that. You know what I mean? That's because we didn't run the rock. Run the rock. Shorten the game. That's the same thing they got to do this weekend. Shorten this damn game. Make them stop our run game. First and foremost, it's going to be cold. It's going to be windy.
And take control of the game by running the ball because you run the ball, you control the time.
And rotate the running backs. Don't just put A-Chain in there too much where he can get hurt. Put Jeff Wilson in there.
Right now though, dog, crazy. We don't care about who. It's nut cutting time right now.
Right.
It's no about worrying about getting hurt, man. Get your ass in there and play the game. But that's the way the game is now, anyways, man. You have to play. Running backs by committee, anyways, man. You have to get in there and find a way to make plays for this football team. And that's all that matters, man. I thought some guys might have, hung out and stayed out last week. Last week was just as big as the week before. Playing for the number 1 seed against Baltimore was the biggest thing we could have done. And some guys didn't play. I guess they're hurt. But last week, playing for number 2 seed in the AFC East was bigger at that point. And some guys couldn't play. So now what are they going to do? I don't want to hear this shit about these guys can't, you know what I mean? That, they're worried about whatever. Man, You got to play. They're paid to play. Unless it's going to jeopardize your career, get in there and play fucking football, man. You know?
I agree.
You don't
100%.
You don't
yes.
play injured, you play hurt. You play hurt, but you don't play injured.
Right.
That's the difference. Injured players can ruin their careers, but hurt means you know, in a couple weeks you'll be okay. A few weeks you'll be okay.
And hurt players can make a dent on some of the good players on the other team because they're mad and they want to get out there.
If you just show that you're out there, they got to pay attention to you. They got to pay attention to Jalen Waddle. They have to pay attention to Mostert, you know. But when it's Tyreek by himself, you saw the pass over the middle. There's 5 dudes running. I've never seen no shit like that. That's because that's Tyreek. Because they're not worried about anybody else. You got to put some guys on the field to take that pressure off of him. And like we talked about earlier, Tua has to dump that. If his first 5-6 passes were dump downs, dump, man, that'd be the best thing that happened for us.
I say that all the time.
Like
throw it
man.
for 3 or 5 yards, get it in their hands, let them do what they do. Do it again, 3 or 5 yards, let them run the soup. Let a Hill, let a Waddle, let a Mostert catch for 3 yards and let them run 2 or 3 more yards.
Yeah.
Do that. Now the linebackers have to move up. You're opening up space behind them. I say that every week.
Yeah, you guys are on point with what you're saying. I mean, I've been listening. You guys are on point exactly what you're saying, man. And our frustration is real and it's warranted. You know, this team had the opportunities of a lifetime, and you know what? We are where we are right now. We are where we are right now. You know, and so we just have to honestly, you know, change the game plan, flip the script. I don't care about the weather. I've talked to 3 different Kansas City stations this week. You know, and I told them, "Oh, we got to get lucky this weekend to win. We gotta play a perfect game." I don't feel that way. I'm just telling them that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you see the move again?
Shorten the game.
Did you see that they changed the date?
What they do?
They moved the game to Monday.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I heard, I was on Facebook earlier and someone was talking about the prices are dropping on the tickets and everything. And I went to Ticketmaster look and they said event canceled and then it's got a date of Monday on it.
Wow, because the weather be a little bit better.
Well, they had a snowstorm. They had a snowstorm yesterday. They got about 10 to 12 inches. They got another one coming in Thursday into Friday. Supposed to dump another foot on them. And Saturday's supposed to be as much as minus 20 degrees.
Wow. Well, I wish the Dolphins would have told me that shit. That changed my work schedule right there. You know what I mean? I gotta work on Monday now. I wasn't planning on working on Monday. When they changed it? Recently or just
recently? It just had been recently because people have been talking about, have you heard any changes? And no one's heard anything. And I heard someone talking about prices dropping. So I went on Ticketmaster to see what the prices are. And it said event canceled, and it has a date Monday, January 15th, to be determined.
Wow. All right. Well, hell.
But why I'm speaking right now, I want to thank you again, OJ, for taking 5 minutes out of your time during the show to come out and sign the flag for us, you know, and take that picture.
You guys are the real of the real, man. Paul, you know that, bro. You guys are the real of the real. You know what I mean? And you keep it 100 all the time, man. And you guys show up, man. And that's what it's all about, bro. These guys, those guys that, not me, because I don't play anymore, but the guys that are out there that play, man, they appreciate you guys showing up, bro. And that's what it's all about.
Well, you know what? It's you too, OJ. We appreciate you because you're family, just like the rest of us. We consider all of us family. And I do need your shirt size because I'm trying to get alumni and team players shirts of peace, love, and fins up family.
Okay. I'm a large, man. Yeah. I probably need an XL, but give me a large, all right? You know, don't tell nobody though. Don't tell nobody, all right? I'm trying to get these skinny jeans again, you know what I mean? Man, nothing but love, man. But yeah, I'm gonna hang on, man. I got a little bit more time than I thought I would. Man.
Good.
I want to hear what you guys got to say, man.
Real quick, how was your son's basketball practice?
It was good, man. I mean, hell, it's 70 degrees and beautiful down here. We got it. He's got it nice, man. They had outdoor practice today, man. These little lucky mother, you know what I mean? But it was nice, man. Their team was coming along, man. They play. He hoops. He doesn't do anything else. He plays basketball year round. He's a short guy, but he doesn't. Good. But he loves it though. So,
which son is that?
It's my youngest son, Cameron.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
I had the opportunity to meet his boys on the cruise.
Yeah.
Both of them so nice, smiling. I mean, I was talking to both of them at one point. I'm like, your dad is cool as hell. And they just look at me like, yeah, I know.
But you know what's so funny? They would never tell me that though.
Well, of course not, because you're your dad. Of course not. When I spent like 20 minutes with him one day just talking, about sports and stuff. And I'm like, I've met your dad quite a few times. I've been able to hang out with him at tailgates and see him. I said, your dad is cool as hell. And they're just like, yeah, I know.
That means the world to me, man, because I love, anything, as parents, we always want to make sure our kids are always away from us being great kids and great people, man.
No, listen, every time I saw them on the ship, they were great.
Yeah. Well, I understand that. It's so funny about that cruise, and you guys will love this. The first couple of days was like rough because there was like language barriers for those guys because it was really an international cruise.
Yep.
By day 2 or 3, my son Cameron had like a group of 12 people that were following him. He was sitting them down at breakfast and lunch and all this stuff. But my oldest son Otis was like, he was handling things, you know what I mean? So they got acclimated really well, man. And I'm glad they're hopefully good leaders, man. That's what it's all about, man. Be good leaders, bro. If
they're anything like you, OJ, I'm sure they will be.
Definitely.
At their age, shit, I don't know what I was doing at their age. Well, I was kicking it hard, man. I'm glad I came into the NFL in the day of no social media. That's for damn sure.
Exactly. OJ, I was just going to bring that up. If we had social media back when we were kids, oh my Lord.
Listen, there is no videotape saying I did anything.
Absolutely.
No evidence whatsoever, huh, John? I hear you.
There is no evidence at all.
Yeah.
So, boys, let me ask you guys a question.
Yes, sir.
And we'll start with winners. We'll start with you, man.
Okay.
What do we have to do to win this game? This playoff game.
I think you were reading my mind because I was about to ask you the same question. Yeah. But I really believe, I think all of us agree, we need to run the ball. We have to start running the ball a little bit more. We have to maintain control right from the gate. We have to play Miami Dolphin football. The key thing is, and the question is, what game is McDaniel going to game plan for? And the thing is, we know what we can do. Because one thing about we did against Kansas City and Germany was when we started running the ball, they started softening up. And you could clearly see that the run was starting to affect them. I hope we can not get away, because my problem with McDaniel is he gets away from the run when there's a rhythm. And when you get a rhythm, because the guys up front want to run the ball. They want to run the rock. Right. I think, OJ, literally, if we establish that, and I feel that, and we're slim pickings in our defense, especially with now we're down Van Ginkel and now we're down Baker. So now I've seen the signees that we have, and I sat there and I heard the gentleman's interview that we just signed, that he said, it was a different era where he played, which it was, because the era he played was you could smack cats, and it wasn't a 15-yard. You know what I mean? Now you got to kind of hold off, and hopefully that doesn't come to bite us in the butt during the game. But I like that intensity, though. We need that type of intensity. Our defense is fine. I really believe that. Mahomes is a handful. We all know that. Mahomes is a magician when you need him to be. But if you keep him at bay and make him sit there and do sporadic things, he does get out of his view. I think if Miami runs the ball and plays a balanced game, I think we can win this game. I think we win this game. I think we win this game by a touchdown.
Yeah.
And if we play smart and clock management, because that was one thing you mentioned. We ran 4 plays in the third quarter. That was not good clock management. You can't do that in any game. I don't care what game it is, and I don't care who it is against. You can't do that.
No, you can't win like that. You can't win like that. Paul, what do you think, Paul?
I mean, the same thing. I'm tired of seeing. I love the run game. We need the run game, but I want to see North and South running. None of this East and West. So much of it's been East and West trying to run around. The guys are getting tired out running East and West and getting nowhere. We need to run North and South and not sit there and throw two passes, the first play, the second play passes. And then when you're third and long, try to run it.
Yeah.
You need to do the first two plays, then try the pass if you have to have a third down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
John, what about you? What about you, John?
I'm going to stick with what I've said all year. You got to have balance. You got to be able to run the ball. Listen, if they run for 80, 90 yards, but they're throwing the short passes 3-5 yards, get it in the hands of Waddle, Hill, Mostert, Wilson. Let them do what they do because they are the speed guys. They are the superstars. Let them get another 3, 4, 5 yards. It forces the linebackers to come up. Now you open up spots over the top. Then you can create that space to get a long ball off here or there. They drop back. You go back to 3 yards, 5 yards. You know, I all year we have not seen a stat line of Tua hit 9 different receivers in a game. Right. Why not? Why not? We have the guys. It's 4 or 5 guys that catch passes every game. That's it. And it's one gets 12, one gets 5, one gets 3, one gets 2. No, get 8, 9 guys involved. Get both tight ends involved. Get every receiver, every running back. I want to see a stat line where Tua throws for 225 yards, 3 touchdowns,
right?
And we run for 80, 90 yards.
Right. That's a great stat line.
The best example was the Cleveland game last year. Remember the Cleveland game last year? We threw to 9 different players.
Right. And that's what we need. And if he does,
well, we threw to 9 different players last game too, at least 9. You know, problem is that they only had like 1 or 2 targets, or maybe 3 at the most, where we need to get it up to. You know, what I mean, it's so funny because I was looking at Buffalo's distribution. Josh Allen threw it to about the same amount of guys, but it was like 8, 7, 7, 6, 5. You know what I mean? The targets were way different than what we do.
And that keeps the defense off balance because they don't know where you're going with the ball.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So listen, I love this team. I love the talent. Listen, I believe they can win road playoff games. They have the talent. They have the team. Now go out and do it.
Right. Crazy. Are you there, Crazy? Where's Crazy at?
Yeah, I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
What do you think, Crazy?
We need to take what the oh my goodness. We need to take what they give us, make adjustments. If something's not working, whether it be offense, defense, make the adjustment. Don't just stick with something that's not working. Change it up, make the adjustment. The run game, just like I've been saying, and I agree, the run game is our best shot. We got the backs to do it. Also, just like y'all saying, also spread the ball. Tua's familiar with that because when Tua was at Alabama, he had different weapons to throw to. So let's spread the ball. And like I said, the defense doing their job, but the most important thing is make the adjustment. And Fangio also did that too. When we played Buffalo, the first part of the first period, Fangio made adjustments to where the defense was holding Buffalo out. So we need to do the same thing on the offensive side. If it's not working, make adjustments. Don't stick with something that's not working. Please, because we got to compliment the defense when they're keeping us in the game.
Yeah, no doubt. But you know what? It's funny because we talk about how the defense, how the offense hasn't helped the defense out. The defense has had their struggles as well. I mean,
True.
Look, I mean, you gave up 56 in Baltimore. I mean, they gave up almost 500 yards. Of course, they had 3 takeaways in the last game, but they gave up 500 yards. And Josh Allen pretty much gave us some gifts, 2 picks and a fumble in the last game. So they've got to hold up their end of the bar. I know we're banged up, but there's no excuses this time of year. Everybody's banged up, right?
Yeah.
And so for us to go into a hostile environment, which won't be – it's going to be interesting how many people come out and play, and watch the game. But for us to go into a hostile environment, we have to shorten that game. As I've said that before. Take them out of the game. How do you take them out of the game? Make it boring. Make the game extremely boring for them. You know, don't get them hyped. Don't get them going. Kansas City, when I played there, it's the loudest outdoor stadium you ever play in. It's the loudest outdoor stadium it's almost like you're in a dome. It's so loud. You know? That's how loud it is. But the fact that, you know, and I'm just finding out about them moving the game, you know, nobody from Kansas City was going to the game. They were giving all their tickets up. And, you know, so it was like, it wouldn't obviously wouldn't be as loud. But at the same time, though, man, our team has to go in there with, this is a new season. We had the preseason.
Yep.
We had the regular season. Now we got the postseason.
Yep.
Preseason is what it's all about when it comes to the NFL. So we're 0-0 right now.
We're all low. We're all 0-0 right now.
0-0 right now, man. You know, so it's time to figure out a way to get to, you know, to 1-0. For me, when it came to weather, I didn't mind weather. I'm from Ohio, played at Penn State, but at the same time, though, once you're out there running around, shit, weather meant nothing to me. I'm ready to go, man. That's nothing right there. So all these people that are worried about the weather, yeah, we haven't played in inclement weather like they have, but they don't like this weather either.
No, they don't want.
They don't want to play in this. They'd rather play in 30, 25. They're cool with that, but nobody's cool with 0.
It's just like I tell Winners and Dolphin, you know, anything below 70 up here for me, I get cold. But at the same time, it's when I'm sitting around and relaxing. If I'm out doing something, I don't care if it's cold or hot. I'm doing something.
Right.
Yeah, true.
All I care about most of the time is when I come off the field, if some of these guys that ain't playing sitting on that hot seat and I ain't got a seat, you know what I mean? Make sure I got a seat when I come over there, you know, and make sure I'm gonna tell you what, I know the equipment staff very well for the Miami Dolphins, and I talked to them today. They're the best in the business. If you'd be shocked at how much cold weather gear they have for South Florida team, but they've got everything. There's no excuses. These guys will be warm. They'll be, you know, halftime. Hopefully there's a little chicken broth that's gonna warm you up, warm your bellies up, or whatever it is, man. But dude, it's an hour and a half. You got 12 minutes, 15 minutes off, hour and a half. That's easy work for most professional football players. It should be at least.
Right. That's the big word.
Different generation, OJ.
Mm-hmm.
We are dealing with different kids. I call them kids because they are kids now. Yeah. Different kids.
Different generation.
Yeah.
Way different generation.
OJ, I got a question for you, and maybe you can answer it, maybe you can't, because I know you work for the Dolphins.
Don't put me in trouble. Don't get me in trouble now.
How come Tua is not allowed to audible?
I don't know if he's not. I don't know if he's not. I think that here's the thing about it. Nowadays, they got up to 15 seconds left on the play clock to get the plays in. So the audible situation is really through the head coach. Mike McDaniel can change the play up to 15 seconds left on the play clock, you know, and they get the look they want, you know, then they should be good to go. Thing about it is, you know, most of the times we feel like we've got the look we want. And if we don't have the look we want, then there's options. So a lot of things are built in when it comes to a play. So many things are built into a play, whereas, you know, you see a too high shell, which we see all the time now. We should be able to call a play without even having to change it with a too high shell. Well, too high shell is what it is. That's usually a run play or it's a check down.
Right.
You know, so that's what bothers me more than anything. It's not that I don't think he can audible. I think that the fact is that a lot of times the plays that we call are based off of statistics and analytics, and it should work no matter what. In terms of like our biggest problem with this team, I'm sorry, John, let me digress a little bit. Our biggest problem we've had with this team is getting behind the sticks. So we're in bad manageable situations. Usually starts on first down. You guys talk. I saw you guys talking about the flip play, or people been talking about the flip. You know, that flip play has been killing us, but it's been giving us negative yards. If it gave us a couple of positive yards, we were 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 7. It's okay. When we get into 2nd and 14, 2nd and 13, now we're throwing the rock automatically. We're throwing the rock. Yeah. You know, so the audible part is, you know, it should be already built in. The problem is we try to get it all back, I think, in one shot instead of working our way into it. So if we're 2nd and 14, don't try to get 14. Give me 5 or 6, and then we're third and manageable. You know, and that makes more sense. But like I said earlier in this thing, those guys are way smarter than I am. But on the football field, I know what we need to do in order to be in good situations for our team to succeed. That's all I would say.
Hey, OJ, real quick, I appreciate. It was a pleasure meeting you. I took a picture with you and Seth at the end of the game.
That's right.
That kind of made my night, man. I appreciate that.
No doubt about it, man. That's what it's all about, man.
Well,
we love y'all, man. You know how much we love y'all, man.
We love you too, guy. Yo, you gotta understand we love you as well.
Yeah.
That's why it's a pleasure to have you on, man.
I got one real quick question, OJ. Have you ever thought about coaching?
I did, and then I got it out of my head right away. You know what I mean? No, you know what? It's so funny you say that because I actually I talked to Penn State about coaching at Penn State. And they actually had filled the position that I wanted to work in. And then when I thought about it, I was like, damn, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to be away from my family 16 hours a day, be on the road recruiting these little snotty ass kids, you know what I mean? They're asking for NIL money. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. And then I thought about the NFL, and the NFL, you know, I talked to Chris Greer a couple of times about possibly doing something. I'm like, wait a minute, these guys, we spent 8, maybe 9 hours a day in the facility. And I know my position coach, Coach Robert Ford, who's the best wide receiver coach out there. I know he was there before I got there, and I know he was there after I left. So then I want to spend 11, 12 hours there too and miss my family. Look, my sons, they're my world, man. You know, so yeah, I thought about it for a quick second, but I'm like, you know what? I'll find another way to make a living. You know, I coach baseball. I coach my kids in baseball. All that. That's my other sport. You didn't know that, did you, Winners? You know I was a baseball player, did you?
I knew you was a baseball player.
Oh, you did it? You knew that?
Mm-hmm,
all right. So baseball,
Definitely.
I coach baseball, man. I coach these kids, man, from like I had a team that was from 6 years old to 13 years old, man, and we were dynamic. We were so good. You know, we traveled, you know, around the country. We played some great baseball, played against some great teams. And baseball is really what I like coaching because I don't have to be there all damn day, all damn night. So, but I'm done with it now. I'm retired from all coaching. All I do now is podcasting and, you know what I mean? And pre and post game show now.
I got to say, I love hearing the story about you and your sons because we have a player that I think the world of because I see a lot of things of him doing things with his kids, and that's Duke Riley.
Yeah. I love
and
Duke,
he was been one of my favorite players. That's a current player and stuff, and just seeing the interaction with him and his kids, it's nice to see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this, Paul, man. It's amazing, man. Because honestly, I wish I had an opportunity for my kids. I said that today. I was in the car with Cameron today, and I was like, man, I wish you guys could have seen me play. You know, because I see these guys celebrate after big wins, after big games with their kids that were present for that. I had my kids 2 years after I retired. You know, my first kid. You know, and it was like, it's special, man. Because honestly, that's what you look forward to. You know. It's weird because a lot of people get on these players. They don't realize they have a life away from football. Somebody got on Tyreek today for one to, you know, play Call of Duty, whatever he was playing, you know, wanted to play that away from the game. You don't understand how much we need to decompress.
Oh,
after,
no, 100%.
After being in that facility, after a loss, getting losing the AFC East title, and then, you know, going back in that facility, watching the film, working all day. I tell people all the time, like, what do you do when you're off time? You know, why is our work different than your work when you get home with your family? You think your wife or your kids want to hear about work and be upset about it? You got to go home and be a family man when you leave the facility. You have to have that unique balance. You know, and you know,
Most
people
definitely.
think that, you know, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. Somebody came to me, it's like, it was a Friday night. I was at right here in Fort Lauderdale Beach, Elbow Room. They're like, OJ, why aren't you at home? I'm like, why aren't you at home? Don't you have to work tomorrow? I don't have to work until Sunday. Why aren't you at home? You know what I mean? Like they think that we have to be at home and sequestered all season long because of what we do. Everybody has a job, and how you compartmentalize it all and how you handle your business is all that matters. I don't care if dudes went out on Saturday night as long as they showed up on Sunday. I don't care what you do in your life. If you show up on Sunday, you do whatever it takes. Michael Jordan was out all the time on South Beach, but he still dropped 40 on the Heat the next night. You know what I mean? So it don't matter, man. Do what you do, but make sure you show up on game day and do what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So people don't realize they see you on TV, they go to the game, they're in the stands, they're fans, but you're still people.
Yeah.
Listen, one of my favorite things before you came on this podcast the first time is I was telling people, OJ is awesome. He's cool. He's easy to talk to. He'll talk about football, baseball, basketball, your family, his family. He don't care. He's a person.
Yeah.
People see you guys, and because you have your name and number on the back, they just think that your life is different. No, it's not. You're married. You have children. You have bills. You have a house to run. You have a car payment, insurance. It's still the same. You just happen to play a game.
Right. And they call it. It's so funny. It's a game. It really is a game. But here's the thing about it, though. How many people? I don't know what you guys do professionally, but how many of you all started perfecting that at 5 years old? I know I started playing football to get to the NFL at 5 years old, and most of the guys I know started trying to get to the league at 5 years old. It was a dream then, but then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I'm in junior high. Okay, now I got a chance to get to high school and play. High school, okay, I'm playing in high school. Now I got a chance to get a scholarship in college. Oh, college, now I'm playing at Penn State. Oh, hell, I'm about to realize my high school, my childhood dream of playing in the NFL. But it was like from 5 years old to 31, I played football for 26 straight years. You know what I mean? And so I had to retire.
It's funny you say that because after you said that, I'm thinking 5 years old. Oh, I said, okay, horses were my dream.
Right.
And I actually had my first horse when I was 10 years old. And I actually produced a world champion horse. And my whole dream didn't come true, but my dream of working with horses, I've driven horse-drawn carriages and wagons at Disney World.
Wow.
And I've worked with race horses. I've worked with quarter horses and all that. And I produced a world champion roping horse. And yeah, it started when I was probably about 5 years old. I remember stories my mom would tell me when we were going to the beach, passing by farms. She would tell me that I would be like, can we stop here and get a horse? Can we stop here and get a horse? So, yeah, when you want to do something, you think about it. Anybody was probably doing what they want to do when they were about 5 years old or something, or thinking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely dreaming about it and thinking about it. But then it as life, gives you the twists and turns, it changes. So the whole point of what I'm saying is that, these guys have lives like you guys talk about, man, away from football. And everybody wants to say it's a game. It's not. It's their lives, man. And I got to go because, but let me tell you this: when I first came into the league, and you guys will, when I first came to the league, I was single, had no kids, had no responsibilities, and I was like, well, hell, man, this is great. This is incredible, right? But I realized that the guys that were on my team already had a wife, family, mortgage, all this stuff where they're trying to hang on and be a part, stay in the league as long as they could. They, that real life stuff,
Yeah.
And so I was wondering, like, why you guys playing? We're teammates. Why are you coming at me so hard and this and that? And then I realized, like, these dudes they're trying to hang on for their childhood dreams. And they got a wife and kids and everything else to support. So when people are hard on players, man, remember they got people at home, man, that are counting on them as well. And they trust me, they hate disappointing us. I hated disappointing you guys. I promise you that. I know they do too.
Well, Jack Siegel said hi, OJ.
Jack's my man. That's what's up. You guys are my man, and Jack's a good dude, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
Thank you for jumping on, giving us your opinion. And you have a wonderful night, and we'll see you soon, brother.
You got it, fellas. Thanks, fellas.
Peace, love, and fins up. Peace, love, and fins up.
Love y'all, man. Thank you guys, man. Hey, stay the course, fellas. We all right. We're gonna be all right, man.
Yes, we will. We will.
We're winning.
Right. 2 years in a row in the playoffs, man. We're okay, man. We're better than most. How about that? We're better than most.
And we're gonna win this weekend.
We're better than most. All right.
I agree with John. We're going to win this weekend.
We're winning.
Let's get it.
They moved the game to Monday. Gives us a couple extra days of rest.
Man, hopefully. Man. Yeah. Yep. All right, boys.
Okay. Thank you, OJ. Bye bye.
Thanks, OJ.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Bye bye.
That was great to have OJ on, man.
Listen. He's one of the best. I mean, unfortunately, he can't come out to the tailgates now because he has to do his pregame beforehand. But last year, the year before, he was out at the tailgates all the time with us, just hanging out, talking. You know, he'd be having a conversation with this person and then this one, and he was just mingling and saying hello. And people would ask, "Hey, can you sign this?" And he would just sign their hat, their shirt, whatever. I spent a lot of time with OJ on the cruise. You know, just
that's like Sunday. We went in early because I wanted to catch OJ at his talk show to get him to sign the flag, which he stopped. He came out of the thing and signed the flag, took a picture with us. And I mean, he's just a normal human being. He's a great, caring, loving guy.
Yep.
So what's up, Banana?
Hannah Banana.
Hooked Up Joe, Keith Lamb. Yeah, it's. I think if the game is truly being moved to Monday, like it's saying and everything, that's going to give us a couple extra days and could probably help us out.
Oh, absolutely. Gives us a couple days rest. I mean, listen, we're not getting guys back like Van Ginkel or Baker, but it gives these new guys we just signed, it gives them a couple extra days to go through the playbook, to get through practices, to understand what they're going to do if they get in the game. Gives Mostert, Waddle a couple extra days to heal. Maybe they can both go on Monday. Maybe they would have gone on Saturday. Maybe they wouldn't, you know.
But it gives them that much more time. And anybody else who's just hurting still gives them a little extra time of healing.
Listen, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of Kansas City. I think we can beat them.
I do
think
too.
So too. I do too. But I'll be the first one to admit I'm nervous about the game.
Well, it's a playoff game. You're supposed to be nervous.
You know,
if you weren't nervous, I'd tell you to go see a doctor and have him check your pulse.
I'm nervous about any game that we play. Anybody that we play, I'm nervous about, regardless of.
I probably need to go see a doctor anyway, John.
But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was really upset. I don't think I was that upset after a loss at a Dolphins game in a very long time. And then to sit there and hear them dancing and partying and seeing them, that was gut wrenching as a Dolphins fan. I don't care what anybody says, and I mean, and Jesus, like Dolphin fans. Look, Dolphin fans, we got to do a little bit better. We got to do a little bit better.
We got to do a lot better.
A lot better, man. Because
I'm gonna give you a quick little funny. When the wife and I were leaving, you know, traffic lined up because we left pretty quick in the car, and Keith and Superfin John and Jason and several others were at the back of Keith's car. You were in the car, I guess.
Yeah, I was.
And I honked a horn at Keith because he was sort of in the road, and I had my wife's window down, and I don't know if it was Jason or John's going, "Who the fuck is – oh, hi, Paul."
He told me – it's funny because he told me when they said, yeah, he's like, I was about to cuss off Papa Paul. And I'm like, oh, no. I said, what the – oh, that kid is hilarious.
No, but to piggyback on what you were saying, Dolphin wins, I was watching I think it was the news or the pregame show. They're showing hot spots in Miami where the Buffalo Bills Mafia were at, and they showed a couple places where the Buffalo Bills actually had their own flags hanging in these spots. And I mean,
this was at Fort Lauderdale. They took over Fort Lauderdale.
No,
Yeah,
they take
that's
over
crazy.
that one. They take over that one bar in Fort Lauderdale, and the owner is a Buffalo
elbow
fan
room.
from Buffalo.
Oh,
Good
okay.
night,
So that's
Buffalo.
why I
Jack.
seen the flag then. Okay, gotcha.
That's why the
Right.
flags are out there. The owner of the establishment is from Buffalo. They are a Bills fan, so
The
everybody
elbow
knows
room,
that's where
correct?
they're going.
The elbow room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because my
believe that.
buddy, that's
Yeah,
where my buddy, yeah, that's where my buddy Tony was at with his wife. They went to the elbow room and then they came over to Shenanigans and hung out with us at Shenanigans. And definitely, that was fun this weekend. I'll say this, but off the game for a second, it was a great weekend. It was a great time to see Paul and yourself, John, and all the Miami Dolphin fans. Everybody from Finn Sticky to Dolfreaky and Jared and everybody, every single body, definitely.
don't forget your host.
Oh man, I said Papa Paul.
Oh, Keith.
I wasn't your host.
Oh,
Keith
wait.
was.
And Keith was Keith. That kid, oh my God, that's my brother from another mother. I love that
Yep.
dude, Jason. I love them guys. That was a hell of an experience, and I'll be doing it again very soon. Trust me. I will. Let's say this. I'm kind of back to normal now, but I'm gonna tell you something. Woo, I was hurt Monday. I'll say this. Monday at 8:30, I was in bed. Everything shut off. I just, my body was like shut down. I was like, okay.
That's a hard partying weekend.
Whew, you see, you were there.
Well, I was only there Saturday night and then Sunday pregame.
I'll say
he doesn't party like you and Keith does. Let me tell you.
Not even close.
Let's say this. I'm gonna tell you this. So when Thursday was kind of a mild night. Friday night, all I'm gonna say is we went from Jack and Coke to peach crowns to tequila shots at the end of the night.
Well, here's a good example, John. I did the smart thing. I had my Captain and Cokes. Then I ordered lemon drops for us, and then we left. The wife and I left. I did the smart thing.
John, hey Paul, here's the funniest part. We did about 2 more rounds of lemon shots after you left.
Well, that's why I was the smart one.
And then wound up going
0 shots Saturday.
Yeah, and then getting a bottle of 1800 at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well, and then I shared my bottle of Patron with you.
And then they started off Sunday at tailgate with 1800 right outside the gate.
No. Wait. Let's rewind. We started at the hotel room around 7:30, 8 o'clock with tequila, and then we went on to the outside the gate. So yeah, it was cool.
Okay, real quick, I'm gonna say yes. Keith Lamb's watching. I was joined us. I'm sorry I didn't announce you soon, Keith. Appreciate you, brother. It was a pitiful showing of Dolphin fans. All in all, we're going to be calling it a night here in a minute. I know John's got to get up early.
Yeah, I do.
It's 10 o'clock. It's 5 after 10, and I haven't been feeling the greatest. I need some rest. So, any last words, Mr. Polk?
I mean, thank you guys for letting me come up. I'm kind of, I've been busy lately with the family, so I try to jump into any of these platforms when I can. So I'm not as freaking as I have been. It's just that my
Mr. Polk, you don't have to apologize for anything.
No, not at all. Family first, brother.
Family's first, yes. And you're more than welcome to just pop in and pop out whenever you want. You don't have to stay the whole time. We appreciate you showing up, but we always tell each other families first. It's just like our young man, Ethan. He's got his brother's basketball game in school tonight to early tomorrow morning. So family is first for everybody.
Right.
But I also like being with my Dolphin family as well,
Yes, we appreciate you very much. What goes around comes around. We appreciate you being part of our family.
Right. So fins up. Let's go and take Kansas City. We can do it. Let's go do it.
Right.
Peace, love, and fins
up,
brother.
Fins up, Mr. Polk.
Peace, love, and fins up, Mr. Polk.
All right, y'all take care now.
Good night.
Good night. John.
Well, regardless of whether the game is Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, I don't care. I think we have the team. We can win. I'm predicting 24-21. It's not going to be a crazy game. If the Dolphins can control the clock, whether it be by the run, the little 4 or 5 yard passes downfield, not left and right all the time, I think they can pull on a win. I don't fear Kansas City. They're not the same team they were in years past. They've dropped off. They're not as good. Unfortunately, the game not being Saturday, I think we're going to have less fans there because it seems like a lot of their fans didn't want to go sit in the cold.
Right.
If I could find an inexpensive flight to get out there, I'd be out there, but unfortunately I can't. And I keep looking every day trying to see if something doesn't change.
Yeah.
It's crazy trying to get from anywhere around here out to St. Louis or Kansas City. The prices are just crazy. Or I find a decent price, but it takes 12, 14 hours to get out there because you got a 5-6 hour layover somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a whole day shot just traveling out there. So for those that go, listen, have a great time. Be loud, be proud, wear your colors. I think we're going to pull on a win and move on to the next round and see where we play after that.
We appreciate you, John, and I agree with you 1,000%.
Love you guys. Peace, love,
and fins up. Peace, love, and fins up, brother. Good night, brother.
Good night.
I won't cut you off tonight, winners.
I appreciate you, Paul. We're going to make it quick and short. I want to thank everybody watching this tonight. Thank you for OJ McDuffie for always watching and listening. It's a pleasure always to have him on. I want to thank everybody that just watched and keep supporting. We're going to keep it short and sweet. I'm going to say that the Miami Dolphins wins this game by the same score that we lost in Germany, 17-14. It's going to be a tight, boring, old school fight. And I'll say this. Keep the faith, Dolphin fans. We might have a lot of guys out, but keep the faith. And I believe, like everybody said, this is 0-0. This is a new season. Papa Paul.
You stole it from me, brother. 17-14 was exactly what I was going to say. OJ, I can't thank you enough for joining us, brother. It's always a pleasure having you on. I thank each and every one of y'all for joining us, watching us. And I still, once again, want to send out prayers to the family of whoever got shot, be it a Buffalo or Miami Dolphins fan. I'm not 100% sure.
It was a Buffalo fan. It was a Buffalo fan that got shot.
Our prayers go out to your family.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous. Other than that, I just appreciate everyone here. And thank y'all for everything. Peace, love, and fins up, everybody. Y'all have a wonderful